It's caught in the crossfire. It's caught in the crossfire.
Hey guys, it's Drone Pro here. I'm going to do a review on my Cheerson CX-20. This is the drone that I used on my previous video, and this is the drone I've been using for a while. I have several mods done to it, and we'll get into that later. But right for now, we're going to get into what it comes with. This drone comes with obviously it's the drone. It comes with a radio. It's a nice radio too. Battery. And a charger. So the radio, the drone has GPS in it, and it has several modes. It has the modes that you can have right above the switches. So you have GPS hold, orientation hold, altitude hold, and return to home. You have obviously the sticks. This is mode 2. So left hand throttle. You got 2 auxiliary ports, and I think auxiliary port 1 for me is the one that controls the gimbal. GPS is pretty good. I mean, it's pretty good, not amazing. It'll stay in its position and it'll return to home, but if you have any sort of wind, it's gonna bounce it off and it'll start like drifting away a little bit. Return to home is pretty good. It's usually off by like a foot or two, so it's not super precise, but it's accurate-ish. Specs for the drone. It's 2.2 pounds, so you're gonna need to get it registered if you buy this. Its top speed listed is 18 miles an hour. That's without wind. That's completely stock too, without all the mods I have on it. With the mods that I have on it, it's around 20-ish, 22 miles an hour. And then that all depends on your wind, having tailwind or headwind or whatever. It has 1,500 meters of range from the radio, so that's like 4,900 feet away. And I wouldn't fly this in any more than 8-9 miles an hour. Like, the wind, if your wind goes above 9 miles an hour, you should not be flying this. Battery, the battery life, 2,700 milliamps, sorry. Charges in 3.5 to 4 hours. So it's pretty good at charging. I mean, that's kind of standard with that size battery. It has about 15 minutes flying time. And obviously it depends on what you're doing. If you're going full throttle all the way, that's kind of given. The GPS shouldn't take much battery at all either. So now let's get into the mods that I've done. So obviously these aren't stock, these are Dji Phantom Props. The props that come standard are a bit smaller, they're flimsy, which is, I mean, I don't like my props being flimsy. If they're flimsy, usually that means they bend in air, and that's the exact opposite of what you want. And you notice how these are hollow, right? So you had to screw these in with one of these screws. Well, the first time flying this, I had I guess it wasn't calibrated correctly, and it flew up and straight into a tree. So luckily it went into a tree, but I'm only saying that because it didn't fly away and go off to the point where I couldn't get it and it crashed and everything. So the propeller fell off. I was able to get the propeller, but I lost the screw that led me to buying these. Also, I would have needed the props for carrying my gimbal and, you know, the pool noodles that I added onto it. Speaking of the gimbal is a 2-axis, so you've got roll adjustment and pitch adjustment that you can make. I just use pitch. I don't need to control the roll at all. It takes up a decent amount of battery, so I usually get around 9-10 minutes of flight with the gimbal on. And it's obviously heavier, so you're going to need to use more throttle. So the reason why I put on pool noodles was because it extended the legs a little bit. It's about an inch. And I mean, the gimbal needed the clearance. Plus, it creates softer landing than these rubber absorbers, I guess. When you landed, this would grab the ground and it would tip the quad over, and that's not what you want, because this the GPS compass tower up the not sturdy at all. It's cracks and, you know, all that, so I had to put tape around it. And so comparing this with other quads like Chromas and the Phantoms and, you know, that sort of thing, comparing this to a Phantom, you know, without the camera and everything, it's pretty comparable. I mean, this is like about $100 cheaper. I can't describe how much of a DJI Phantom this is. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't have the same battery, but I mean, it flies exactly like it, and it's really good at flying too. So yeah, this will be part 1 of the video. I may do a part 2 where I review it and show how it flies and everything, and show the GPS and how all that works. That probably won't be uploaded until Saturday, maybe Friday. So yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.